It's expensive to be made.
Welcome to Bravo's Moms Unfiltered, the podcast where real moms spill the tea on all the things Bravo and the chaos of everyday life.
We're your hosts, Allie and Crystal, two Bravo-assessed moms who aren't afraid to say what everyone's thinking completely unfiltered.
From Housewives drama to mom life meltdowns, we're here to break it all down with humor, honesty, and maybe a little bit of bitching.
So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and get ready for some unfiltered fun. Welcome back, Bravo Moms. There's a lot to do, so let's get into it. We're going to finish Miami Reunion Part 3. That's how far behind we are.
Oh, man. Yes, the Miami reunion. Let me get to it. Yeah, Andy kicks off the segment by addressing Larsa's comment to Lisa, criticizing her for attending the runway show while her father was ill. Lisa was visibly emotional. She even gets to the point she shares a photo of her father in the casket. That's how upset she was, and sends it to Larsa. Remember
I
that
forgot about that.
episode?
Yeah, I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
And so instead of receiving support, she got, was like, that's not the right thing to do. You don't do that to the dead. So then Andy nudges Larsa and suggests owes Lisa an apology. And Lisa says she's sorry. And so eventually they go back. When they take a break, they end up making up in the back because he's sitting in the back like like he has nothing else to do.
Yeah, well, he doesn't.
So yeah, and then Andy talks to Kiki. Andy asks anybody in the crowd, does anybody know how to speak Spanish? Because Lisa is Hispanic and doesn't know
I didn't
Spanish.
realize that.
Yeah, she's Hispanic.
It makes sense, but I guess I never realized that.
Yeah, like, I've seen her mom. I think I've met, like, her parents were on at
Parents
one
have been on,
point,
yeah.
and her mom's Mexican. And so Kiki goes, "Yeah," and says something in Spanish, and it says, "Don't put your D in my V," is what she told him, and Andy starts laughing. Andy's like, "Nah." Um, and then he goes to Julia, and Julia stirs the pot. They show, like, a clip of them where Julia is talking to Alexia about Stephanie talking to all the other girls about Alexia on the plane. And so Andy puts Julia on the spot, and basically Stephanie says still thinks it's shady and she should have never done it. Julia's like on an apology tour. So she immediately says, "Yes, I was wrong, and I'm sorry, Stephanie. I should have never done that." And so Stephanie accepts the apology. And then Marisol wants to clarify that she was not besties with Julia and that they were just getting to know each other, and explains her decision on why she flew separately. It wasn't about breaking the rules, but it stemmed from her making the seating chart, which I understand.
Yeah.
You're making a seating chart. Marisol's like, "Well, I'm just gonna remove myself." And Alexia did too. And she was like, "We also had a dinner from hell the night before. I didn't want to
Yeah.
fly on a small plane with all these women." So, also noted to self, Marisol that same night tried to convince everyone to take a train instead of flying on
Yeah.
Stephanie's plane, and that was just revealed at the reunion. Like, no, they didn't show that in the
Yeah.
episode, so I was like, and the girls were, like, shaking their heads saying, "Yeah, you did, Marisol."
Yeah. I wish they would have shown that, or if they had, like, footage of it, like, you know how sometimes they show it afterwards? So I wonder if it wasn't filmed at all.
Did they show it?
I don't
No, they
remember.
didn't. They didn't show it because everybody was still at the dinner that
Yeah.
night,
Yeah.
so I wonder if Marisol texted it. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
Um And then Andy kicks off back to Kiki about the cake and what made her want to put the number of Adriana, how old she was. And Kiki still is gonna, like, I didn't realize that it offends people because she's from a different country.
Yeah.
So, I mean, women in her country are 100 and they still They age like fine wine. So
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
her, it's like in her culture, it's accepted, it's an honor to be older. Whereas in America, not so much.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so Kiki did apologize. Adriana accepted it. So they moved on, and I don't think, hopefully, she won't do it again. Andy asked Andrea why she mocked Marisol's knees if she's over here being mad at Kiki. And so Adriana, you know, round of tension. So they take a break after that. But I think Adriana ends up admitting her own faults for something that she struggles with,
Mhm.
her self-esteem. So then they take a break, and that's when Lisa and Jody and Larsa make up. They try, it's like a half-ass apology though.
Yeah.
Because Larsa tries to apologize, but then she was like, well, this would have never happened if you just would have just taken him off 2 years ago, like her
Yeah.
apology. And then it's like, this would have never happened. Like, that's not an apology. You should have just apologized and not said anything.
Yeah.
They're working on it. Guerdy shares that she's cancer-free now and she's working daily on herself. Julia begins a heartfelt apology to her. She did apologize to Guerdy for that whole scenario. I still don't understand, it wasn't even about the boat. We find out it's not about the boat. They replay a touching footage to Martina with the boys, showing he renewed, showing her I'm reading my notes, they don't make
Yeah.
sense. But basically that Martina's doing well with the boys,
Mhm.
and one of the daughters is coming around and trying to reconnect, which I think is good.
Yeah.
I still think that she didn't answer the question. Andy asked her, did the girls know from the beginning that you
Yeah.
wanted to adopt the boys? And her reflection answer was, it happened so quickly. She didn't answer the question. She just went to a timeline of
She
how,
deflected. Yeah.
yeah, on how long she had to answer or fly home and reschedule her events and stuff like that. And I'm like, so they didn't know.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah.
what I gathered. They
Well,
didn't know.
she didn't discuss it with her daughters, tell her
Nope.
daughters, it just happened. So I thought that was weird. And then she said one of them's coming around. Andy said, if anything was to happen to you or Martina, would the girls take over?
Yeah.
And I thought that was a bold question for Andy. Considering that she just told you one of them's coming around and not
Yes.
so much the other, and then your
Yeah.
next question is if you guys die, are they gonna who's gonna take care of your children?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
in the episode, um, she asked those people to be, what is it?
Godparents.
The godparents. So,
Yeah.
why didn't she mention them
The
as, you know,
Yes, taking
like,
over.
that should have been her answer.
Yeah.
So, I still don't I'm not a fan of Julia, but let's see how next season goes. Adriana Marisol reveals that Andy asked Marisol, "Are you selling Mama Elsa's home?" And she said, "Yes, she is," which is crazy because it's been in the family and she
Yeah.
does all that voodoo stuff. So,
I
anyway,
know. She must need the money or something.
yeah, she must need the money for her next wedding.
Yeah, right?
Same guy, I'm
Yeah,
asking.
same guy, wedding
Same guy.
number 5 or whatever it is.
And then Andy asked about Nicole
Mhm.
accusing Marisol of hiring a PI. And Marisol's like, prove it or we'll go to court.
I think she did.
I think she did too.
Yeah, she just doesn't wanna admit it.
Yeah. And who doesn't have a PI?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Stephanie reminds Marisol on how she sent her every article that was negative and
yep,
bad.
yep,
That's not a friend, that's an instigator, is what I
yep.
put in my notes. Stephanie was, almost in tears. She's not in tears, the Botox won't let her cry. She's like, "It was very hurtful to wake up and get your text messages, and all they were all negative articles," which
Negative,
I'm
yeah.
like, "Why would you do that?" Was it in a group text message? I
Yeah,
could see that, or, Marisol was like, "I was just trying to be your friend." I was like, "That's not how you start a friendship."
yeah,
Um Larsa steps in and she's like, telling Stephanie, like, I thought me, you, Alexia, Marisol were all gonna be besties. And I was like, clearly that didn't happen.
Yeah, clearly.
And I don't know why she stepped in and said that. Like, is that the only reason she got on the show
Yeah,
was 'cause Larsa? So,
I think so.
yeah, that was an interesting comment, and I wonder if she'll be back next year.
Yeah, I wondered that too.
'Cause maybe that was her exit.
Or Exa, yeah.
'Cause I would have thought Larsa would sit right next to Stephanie, 'cause they were close.
But they were opposites, right? It was
Mhm.
like Andy and someone, then them 2,
She
right?
sat between Alexia and Maris,
Adriana? No,
and then
Lisa?
well,
I
Stephanie
know
sat
what
on
you
the
mean,
other
yeah.
side, first chair, and then Alexia's first chair, and then I think it was Larsa,
Yeah, I
Maris,
think it was Larsa, yeah.
Julia.
Yeah.
So, um, Larsa steps in and basically says Stephanie is sensitive too, which I thought was crazy. I was like, "Whoa." So,
I think she is deep down, though.
yeah.
I think it's more family sensitive, but she has a sensitive spot.
Which is crazy because she's like a CEO of like a
I know.
billion-dollar company. I would hate to have to work for an emotional person.
Yeah,
Can you imagine?
could
On
not.
the edge of your seat.
Unless toddlers count.
Stephanie said she doesn't feel like she's in a safe space with anybody in the group yet, which I feel for her.
I get
It's
that, yeah.
It's very hard. And then Annie moves on to the whole Marisol and Adriana and the whole ratchet comment and how she saved it was crazy. She was trying to help Adriana, but the whole episode she didn't want to be by Adriana until this moment.
Till this
And
moment, yeah.
Adriana's like, "You just did it to have something over my head," which I
Yeah.
totally agree because Kiki made it a point and said, "Why would you do that, Marisol, when you were my friend?
Yep, yep,
And you're trying to cover for someone who's not your friend." You know what I'm
yes.
saying? So, right then called out Marisol and her personality. Final ending, Kiki markets her book or no, Guerdy
I
markets her book,
ugh,
Trauma to
Andy
Juicy.
Andy calls her out on that too.
I know, 'cause I wonder if you're supposed to, like, let Andy know or
Yeah, self-market like that.
yeah. Well, I mean, they have to give Bravo a
A
piece
little bit
of
of oh,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Julia said she felt like she was her worst and best this season, which I
yeah,
agree with the worst part. I'm not
yeah,
sure how it was your
her
best.
best,
Oh, she
yeah.
said having her sons was the best part.
Yeah,
Worst
makes
part was
sense,
relationships.
makes sense.
And she has a lot of growing up to do, which,
She does.
you're too old to say that you have.
And she checked herself into rehab. I haven't heard the outcome of that.
Did she check herself or she taken therapy? Oh, she went to
I
one of
thought it
those
was a rehab.
she went to a spa rehab?
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's nice. That's lovely. Larsa says she'll be there for any of these women. Alexia thanks all the women for being there for her. Yada, yada, yada. And he's like, let's all take shots.
Yep,
The end.
the end. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
We'll move on to Real Housewives of Orange County, episode 14.
Why didn't you tell me
She
to turn the TV on mute? I
Oh, I
should.
didn't even hear it. I didn't even hear it. That's my life lately. OC episode 14. So Shannon throws a bridal shower for Jen even though she doesn't have a wedding date yet, or a wedding registry or a wedding date.
That
I
was
thought that was really weird.
weird.
I also didn't realize they were that close for her to do that. Gretchen has a short list of reasons why she isn't like Tamara. Did you see that confessional? Where they ask her like how she's not like Tamara. She just like lists off a ton of reasons. I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, because she writes it in her phone notes.
Yeah, yep,
I have
yep.
that app too. I have that app too, Gretchen.
So at the bridal shower, they all give marriage advice, and all of them have been divorced, except for I put Shannon, I meant Heather, which is just true. Everyone has been divorced in that group at least once, and I thought that was kind of funny that they were all giving her marriage advice.
Yeah, except for Gina.
Emily,
Or
I think Emily was divorced before she met her current husband.
okay, Gina's
So
divorced. Yeah.
yeah, so everyone's been divorced, which is kind of funny.
I mean,
Um,
Beverly Hills.
I know, that's a whole other story. So the girls all decided they're gonna take a trip to Amsterdam, and then we learned a little bit more about Heather's mom and dad. She said her dad was a corporate dad, which I understand that. She said that he was gone before they woke up in the morning, and her mom was hard on her and her dad. They show a clip of her mom saying to the group, which I don't remember this episode. They come to a party, and her dad says that Heather's mom made her dad change the shirt before they could come to this party. So I was like, well, that kind of is where Heather gets some of her like tactics from, is from her mom, it sounds like. I don't know. Did you see that clip? I don't remember that clip ever
I
being
didn't
shown
see
in an
the clip.
episode. So then we go to Ryan and Jen. Ryan talks to Jen about how her ex sat with them at one of her kids' games. And I was like, well, I'm glad they're getting along. 'Cause it sounds like he hasn't been that easy to get along with. So that's nice that he actually sat next to them at a game, acted like a family. Tamara and Eddie have a moment about Sophie and how she had a boy spend the night and how they need to communicate better. Tamara asked if she should probably stop drinking, and Eddie said she should never drink in their marriage, which I thought was interesting because she's always drinking. So that was interesting. So they're on their way to Amsterdam. Shannon is a hot mess getting through TSA. She has one shoe on, and the other shoe is on Heather's luggage. I had to rewatch it, and I was like, "Where's the other shoe? It's on her luggage." I
You
was like,
know
"Those."
she can afford an assistant,
Oh,
right?
oh yeah,
Like,
she can afford so much, but
dear
it's
Lord.
just a hot mess.
Oh my god.
Those seats in first class look so nice.
What airline did they ride?
I don't know, but it looked nice. Don't
I,
wanna uh, um, so their first day out, they're wearing all black, and I was like, "Why are they wearing all black? Did they plan that?" Did you see Emily's dress? It was like
the cuts?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I
I
saw,
was like,
yeah,
"What is that?"
they all dressed a
Um,
bit out of whack, but it's
s
Amsterdam, though.
Are you supposed to dress like that in
No,
Amsterdam? I've
I
never
love
been.
Amsterdam. It's a bunch of great stores.
Yeah,
There's
I
good
can
people.
imagine.
Uh,
Obviously, balls or whatever they had.
oh my god, I love
Well,
Shannon. I
I
would
know.
totally
We'll
do
get there.
any drug with her. Let's come over. Come over, Shannon, and just
Um, I know. We'll hear the Housewives theme song just sitting here, the doo 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 doo.
when they went through that room and
Yes,
they
yes,
showed everybody's old
yes,
picture.
yeah, yeah,
Oh my god, Heather and Gina, I can't.
yeah.
I can't.
So Emily, Jen, and Tamara go to a dick decorating place where they decorate dicks. I was like, okay, that seems right up Tamara's alley. So while they're there, I evidently Jen had work on her vagina inside, outside, and pelvic floor, which is why her and Ryan haven't been having sex. And I was like, that's interesting. Um,
Interesting.
Shannon, Heather, and Gretchen and Gina all go to get high. I believe they all smoked except for Gretchen, which makes sense. Jen is friends with Alexis and got saved the date, but isn't going to go because she doesn't want to ruin hers and Shannon's friendship, which I understand. But again, I didn't realize Jen and Shannon were that close. Like, I don't know. That surprised me.
I
I didn't
didn't
realize they're that close. You know what I
I don't
mean?
think they're that close, but I think, Shannon still would like to know what's going on in her ex's life.
Yeah, I think so too. And that's
I would have been
sh
like, "Go,
like,
Jen.
keep
Go to
tabs
the
on it.
wedding,
Yeah,
and you come back and you
and
tell us
report back.
how
Yes,
yeah, how
yes.
awful it was."
Yeah. Um, and then Jen said she wasn't into the bridal shower that Shannon threw. She said that while they were decorating their little friends. I said Heather and Shannon are definitely feeling this baseball. Like, you can tell when they were at dinner, she was feeling it. So they go to dinner, and Shannon falls out of the Sprinter van on the way to go into dinner. And I said at the end of the episode, they're finally getting along for once. Once.
Yeah,
Episode 15. This is Amsterdam day 2.
'cause
Shannon is a
he brings people together. I love
yeah,
Amsterdam, like, when cat and coffee shops and tea
yeah.
shops, like, all day, every day. Me and Aaron
I
went
just
right
I
before.
just love that Shannon or that Heather's doing all this.
Yeah,
Miss
well,
Princess. is
No.
doing it.
Yeah, she's had this whole season has been weed parties, and her
I
husband
know.
smokes so much weed.
Smoking a I know,
It's
I
so funny
know.
because he's a doctor.
I know.
He opens people up.
I know.
Yeah.
Alright, so episode 15, this is Amsterdam day 2. Shannon is a hot mess after that space cake, but I loved her on that space cake. I said, "Shannon and these damn blisters. Again with these damn blisters."
It's
Like,
'cause she buys new shoes and doesn't wear them till the
she
day
doesn't
of.
break them in. I
Mhm.
know.
You need to have your assistant wear your shoes, Shannon. That should be a
So
requirement, same she
right?
says.
So Heather and Gina decide to take truffle mushrooms, and they're going to a tulip field. So I was like, sounds fitting. Heather and Gina are so feeling those mushrooms in the tulip field. That was so funny. At lunch, Gina brings up why Jen isn't going to Alexis's wedding. Jen said it's because of Shannon, not because Shannon didn't ask her to go. Jen says, if I tell you I don't have issues with Alexis, are you judging our friendship? And Shannon said yes, which I 100% believe that she is. Gina, high off these truffle mushrooms, says Jen didn't want the shower, and Shannon says you didn't want it, and Jen says I never said that. Which she did, but she didn't say that in a way. You know
Well,
what I
she
mean?
didn't wanna be rude
Yes,
and,
yeah.
like, turn down such a
Turn
nice
down this
gesture.
gesture, exactly. Then they all says Gina doesn't shut up when she's drunk and high, which was true because she just kept yapping. And then they talk about Jen's Instagram and how they first of all, they say they don't want Jen to get lost with Ryan like she did with her first husband, not knowing how to pay the bills, have fun, and they say that her Instagram is all Ryan, which I guess it is. That's literally her life, her personality right now is
I mean,
Ryan.
that was good of Gina to say it in a nice way, though,
In
like.
a nice way, yeah, to just kind of like a wake up call, and it's from her experience too, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? They go on these hot tub boats, which I thought was interesting. They're literally like motorized hot tubs in the water that you drive. And I don't know if you noticed it, but when they're in the hot tub boats, you can literally see the camera people on the boats. I
Mm.
thought that was kind of funny because normally you don't see the camera
You don't
people,
see 'em, yeah.
Yeah,
Who
um,
because who put everybody's on drugs except for the camera
camera
guys.
people, yes, yes,
This is a liability.
yes. So Tamara and Shannon are both driving their separate boats. They're in different boats. Jen and Shannon talk it through, and she asks why she's friends with Alexis. Gretchen, so it's Tamara, Gretchen, Emily in a boat, and then everyone else in the other one. So Gretchen said her and Emily talked in the car, and she said she messed up, and she was mad people were talking about Katie. Tamara says she doesn't talk about Gretchen because she doesn't find her relevant. Tamara also says to Gretchen, Tamara and Gretchen talk and they agree they can move on. I was like, finally, we're on episode, what, 15 of the season? You're finally going to decide to move on.
It's always the last 2 episodes
Yeah.
before the final, yeah.
So they're getting out of these hot tub boats, and Tamara gets a news article on her phone, and it says Jen still owes like 6 figures. And she asked Jen if this is true, and Jen said yes, it is. And they all say this is why Jen needs to be smarter with her Instagram, and she needs to set herself up financially, which I 100% agree. She
She
does.
owes 6 figures where
I don't remember what it was
probably her
for.
apartment, I can't
I think oh,
remember.
yeah, it was when she got evicted from the house
Because remember Gina?
that
Yeah.
Gina found for her, yeah. Gretchen says she sees that they are both hurting each other and she didn't realize it, which took her forever to realize, but that's fine. She came to a conclusion. So because of this, Gretchen decides not to come to dinner. She's very emotional, Jen says. So they go to this random food court in Amsterdam, and then Shannon and Jen are just randomly doing a dance in the middle of the food court. I was like, "Is this a TikTok thing?" Do you remember that? I don't even know what they're doing. They're just randomly dancing. And I was like, "This is so weird." So they sit down, and Tamara is like pissed that Gretchen isn't there, and is like saying, "Is she trying to get back at me for this after we just like made amends?" Gretchen finally shows up 2 hours late, and she says she doesn't want to talk about it. She said all the pain and back and forth made her emotional, which I believe. I think she kind of had a breakthrough with all of this. Tamara says she doesn't want to sit down with Gretchen every week and have to make up for someone because they talked bad about it. So I think they, again, decided to move on, finally. day 3. Gina says she likes the person in front of so this is when I believe Tamara showed something to Gina about something that Gretchen liked. So Gretchen says to Emily she likes the person in front of her, but she pretends to be another person. And Gina said these posts are disturbing. Gina says she can't let it go because she needs to tell Heather. Of course she does. And she needs to be called out for this. So that's where we end with Housewives. Again, this is what, like day 3 in Amsterdam? All right. From there we'll go to Salt Lake City, episode 5. Whitney's song. Did you hear her song about inviting everyone to her party? I don't remember it, but I just remember laughing when she was saying it. It was really funny. So Whitney's having a wine tasting party and she sends everyone flowers and a note, and I thought that was really cute. Her dress, do we like that pink bow dress that she was wearing? I thought it was way too much. Way
I think I missed
too
this
extra.
beginning.
You missed the
Okay.
beginning. Mary says the place that Whitney's having her party at was bad juju. The former owner shot and killed himself and his wife on Christmas Day. And I was like, that is terrible.
Oh my God,
Leave
Mary.
it to leave it to Mary to like say something like this. So Meredith shows up in a denim flower outfit. Literally denim with denim like big flowers all over it.
Yeah, I saw her outfit.
Mary says Meredith's outfit looks like a walking virus. Browen's flower dress I think is cute and totally her. Whitney says she has changed after her wild and carefree self made Justin lose his job. She said she is going to start over, which I think is good for her, trying to find herself again. So they all get psychic readings. I love a good psychic reading. I thought that was interesting that she chose to do that.
Yeah.
So then Angie says that her house is for sale. And Brittany is looking at the Zillow listing up and down and says it looks like there was a price adjustment. And then Brittany goes, "Why didn't you use me?" Which I think is a valid question. Why didn't you use Brittany? Brittany's in real estate. Like, why not go with her? I mean, I know they're not the closest of friends, but this is her line of work. So then they all start talking about the richest zip codes, of course. And then I said, I agree with Brittany on setting the price right so you don't have to adjust it. Because Brittany was like, you didn't set the price right, which is why you already had to take a price increase. And Angie's like, no, this is what we have to do. And I was like, no, I agree with Brittany. You have to set that price right. You don't want to make a price adjustment. I feel like that looks bad.
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to have to adjust the price, you know what I mean? So then Brittany chimes in that her and Jared are back together after 24 hours. And I was like, "Oh my god, Brittany, I am so over you and Jared." Like, this is ridiculous at this
I
point.
love that they threw water on her.
Oh, I know. We'll get there.
Yeah.
So then apparently Jared and Whitney's husband met up while Whitney and Brittany met up. And Whitney said that Jared said this about Brittany, that Brittany only gets back with him when she wants a trip or a gift. And I was like, wow. But why is he taking her back then? Like, it takes two to tango. You know what I
I know,
mean?
that almost feels like Brittany's the one that's leading this relationship.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I wish I had that.
Right?
Amen.
Right? Yeah. So then Meredith asked Lisa if she was working up on bringing negative rumors about her and her family, and Lisa says no. She's worked on being a better friend this year to her, which I agree with that. She has. So the first person to see the psychic is Brittany. The psychic tells Brittany that her youngest daughter has a wall up and she needs to spend time getting to know her. Browen goes next. Browen's second reading keeps showing a brain, and she said her mom had brain surgery, and he says there's nothing else there. He says that she meaning her mom is her biggest support, and it might not feel like it at times, but she needs to make peace with that relationship. Which we have seen that relationship, and it's not the greatest. And then we go back to the table of the girls. Lisa says that Angie used someone else's credit card to go on vacation. Angie gets pissed and she starts throwing her credit cards around like this. And then Mary just goes and picks up all the credit cards like, you shouldn't be throwing
She
this
throws the
Amex
black
around.
card.
Yes. Yeah.
And she
She
throws the access to the Louis Vuitton card,
is that
like,
the what she throws to
you
get
have
into
to
the store?
spend, like, billions of dollars to get that card. Like, to get Louis Vuitton access, it's a special card you get, and then they literally you clear out the whole store for you.
Really?
Yes. That's what she was throwing at her. She threw out her Black American Express, and then she was throwing out all her, like, high-end access cards to all the
Cards.
high-end. So, she was like, "Let me show you.
Yeah.
Why do I
So
need someone else to pay for my
yeah.
vacation?"
So Angie throws her credit cards around. Angie and Lisa are having a full-on fight at this table, like a full-on, like, you say something, I'm gonna say it right back, and they keep going back and forth. While this is happening, Heather has her reading, and it's about a rebirth, which makes sense because she's reinventing herself. She's gonna be childless in a year. So Angie and Lisa are still fighting, and Lisa goes something about Soup Man, and I'm like, "Who is this Soup Man? Why does she keep bringing up soup?" Again, they're still going at it. They won't stop fighting with each other. They both accuse each other of using someone else's credit cards. Lisa goes in for her psychic reading, and it's about rebuilding trust with her husband and how to communicate again and how they have different paths, which I think was spot on for her. Lisa said marriage is hard and he's her best friend and they aren't on the same team right now. She said until they get back onto the same team, she feels alone. Angie's psychic reading is about expanding her business. I guess she's designing sunglasses, and he says to keep moving with it. I was like, "Oh, Angie, please don't. We don't need another housewife doing something like that. Like, stick with your salons, do your franchises, like,
Well,
stick with that."
sunglasses do well in, like, other countries,
Yeah,
but I get why she would do the sunglass thing because
yeah,
it's profitable business, like,
yeah,
her profit
yeah,
margins are really good.
yeah. So Angie and Lisa are still fighting, and Lisa says she's done and leaves. Mary tries to go to Lisa and is trying to talk to her like a toddler with Angie and trying to get her to calm down, come back, let's make amends. Meredith has her reading and it says she doesn't trust her friend, don't trust this friend's narrative, which was interesting. Angie, I don't know where Angie got this, but Angie leaves and comes with a box of things that Lisa has given her to give back to Lisa. And Mary tries to give Lisa some good advice on how to fix it with Angie. Lisa asks Angie who her best friend is, and Angie goes, "I don't know, Ben Affleck." So while this is happening, Whitney's having her own reading. It's about communication and how she is shut down and how her business is a failure, which we already know. Whitney says her husband didn't want to be a part of Wild Rose Beauty, and she said they struggled with communication. Back to the fight, Lisa finally leaves with no resolution. Angie says she's sick of this and throws the horse that Lisa gave to her to give to her daughter. Mary says she's done with Angie after Angie says she went back to Lisa. So then Mary storms off. And I said all Mary did was try to make peace with Angie and Lisa, and she ends up getting hurt by Angie. Brittany breaks the fight by saying Jared called her 3 times and texted her 6 times. And so that was the end of episode 5. Episode 6. Heather calls Angie and asks her how she's feeling. She says she's going to call Mary and have her stop by to apologize, which I think is great because Mary did not deserve that at all. Heather says they're going to go on a super yacht, which is the below deck Mediterranean. So here's a good crossover right here. I said another lunch date with Browen and Todd. I am over these lunch dates. I do not need any more of these lunch dates
Yeah,
on my TV.
I can't do Todd.
He doesn't care about the ladies or that Browen wasn't a part of the drama. And she cries a little bit because he just doesn't care. And, like, looks really bad for their marriage. Mary and Angie meet. Mary tells her to find another sister and that she means it. This was so interesting. Mary brings up about her farting and how Angie made fun of her.
I saw
Mary talks about her farts and Angie's dog farts and how they should know the difference. And I guess Mary had gas. I don't know. That was a whole Mary
it was a
conversation.
stretch,
Oh, it was a
and I think
big
Mary was
stretch.
embarrassed, and
100%.
she didn't realize she was on camera. Probably you get those moments
Yes.
where you're on
Those hot
you
mic
forget,
moments.
and you're
Yes.
with your friends and you're comfortable, and then you forget you're on camera.
Yes.
And then Angie went with it thinking that it was funny because Mary said it first,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Thinking she could
they
poke fun at
went
it.
too far. They both went
Yes.
too
Yeah,
far,
yeah.
so and then
So
Mary's telling her, "I'm mad," so
yeah. So, Angie and Mary make up. Lisa and Heather meet up, and she tells her about the yacht. Lisa asks if she can bring lamb, and Heather's like, "No, there's no room on this boat." And then Heather asks her, "Who's Soup Man?" And she goes, "It's Suit Man, not Soup Man." And I was like, "Okay, that makes a lot more sense because
Sue.
we're all like, who the fuck is a Soup Man?"
I mean, we
Like,
got Ratchet,
I
Wretched,
know,
Scoot,
yeah.
Scoot, like,
And
ladies.
then Lisa said there is no Soup Man, she just made it up. And I was like, So there she goes making up stuff." Lisa gets upset when Heather says everyone has been burned by her, which I get it, but everyone has. Brittany meets up with her youngest daughter. She talks about how her kids moved in with their father when she got remarried again, and it was either her husband or her kids, which I think is really sad. Her daughter says the last time they met up, she was making out with Jerry the whole time and didn't acknowledge her. And I was like, I could not even imagine that. And as a mom, I couldn't even imagine doing that to my kid. Like, that just, like, was just something else. I felt so bad for her daughter. She says she has a habit of choosing men because her kids don't choose her. Her daughter says her mom used to be present in their life until she got remarried and she had to beg for her mom's attention, which is so sad. Brittany doesn't know how to make the relationship better. I said, I think Brittany needs therapy to figure out why she prioritizes a relationship with a man over her daughters. Because there's got to be some type of daddy issue or something. That's why she's doing this. And she literally knows nothing about her daughters at this point in her life. Meredith and Heather meet up and take a walk. They talk about Lisa and how she's done this to everyone at the table. She needs to own it. Mary says she believes Lisa, not Angie, and of course she does. Heather wants Lisa to say sorry for a few things, and Meredith doesn't think that Lisa would dig up dirt on anyone, which I don't believe that. They all fill out the preference sheets. So these are the sheets that the below deck people, the crew uses. So you can say, like, I like champagne, I like this, I don't like this. So that way they have it on the boat for you and they know what to make for you.
Huh.
So they all fill this out. They talk about the tea of Brown on the internet. I guess it's allegations about identity theft. Brown said it's not true, and some are from her days in college about 10 years ago. Todd says this is going to cause them a problem at work. Told her not to go on this below deck trip. And Bravo said there's a heavy chance that these rumors are started by Lisa. And that's how we end it. So,
Right. Then we're gonna move on to Real Housewives of Potomac. Starts off with spin class with Ashley working out. She does admit she's a competitor and explains her dominance personality. They shoot off to Stacy's daughter. I didn't get what she's like, was a Miss Third Grade Walk. I
I
didn't
didn't
get
get
it.
that either. I thought it was like a pageant
You would think
that she was
Stacey would
doing.
explain it in the confession, but all she was
Yeah.
talking about was getting back with her husband. And I'm like, "What why aren't you explaining what your daughter's walking in a dress for?" So I didn't get it. Wendy and Kay meet up at the park and try to talk about their issues. Kind of getting annoyed a little bit with their issues because nobody really knows what their issue is. Kate says she feels like Wendy just wants to be TV friends, and that's how she feels. So she's kind of like mad at Wendy for feeling that way. I guess you can't really be mad at someone because of your feelings, because how do you
Yeah.
know what Wendy's feeling when it's just your feelings? So I don't get the whole situation. Wendy's hosting a race event, and Kay wants to throw a breakfast party on the same day. So she asked Wendy if there was a problem. Wendy said, "There's no problem. I'm the one that got the invite from the mayor," or something like that.
Yeah.
Wendy thinks that Kay is very childish, and I agree. So I just don't know the whole issue back and forth and why Kay is she's always just upset. She's never really happy. And
Yeah.
it's almost like, I don't know. I don't get why she wants to be on the show. So, Angel's mom passed away 10 years ago. She believes her spirit is protecting her. Angel tells her husband about Gizelle telling Kay that she chin checked her in the last episode. Angel needs to have a deeper conversation with Kay because now she feels a little bit sad about that, disrespected. Stacy and Jazzy meet up for food, and Stacy apologizes and says she hasn't had her back. Jazzy was there last year. She was a newbie, so she's coming in
Okay.
as a guest in the middle of the season. She's engaged to an NFL player
Yes.
who had a baby while they were dating.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Stacy shows up, shows Jazzy a picture of Gizelle on a date with the mystery man.
Mhm.
And Stacy says he's an NFL player and that
Mhm.
Gizelle is hiding him. Um, and then they shoot off to Tia and Gizelle meeting up at a boutique with Angel. And she invites them to, where did she invite them to? Where they go?
I don't remember how to pronounce it. Some
They go
island.
Yeah, they go to Nevis, the island of Nevis.
Yes. Yep.
Wendy shows up. Her outfits are a little bit crazy this year, Wendy. I'm gonna say that
Yeah.
they set you up, wardrobe set you up this year because I'm not liking it. These ruffles have got to go. You got broad shoulders. You look like a football player. Kay, Giselle invites the ladies. They go to Four Seasons. Nevis, Four Seasons in Nevis, which is
Mhm.
really pretty. Then they go to the next day where they pregame for the horse show, the horse race. It's crazy. They go to brunch at Kay's house with her boyfriend,
Yeah.
Craig, who broke up last year because he hates the camera, but he's
Mhm.
back on the camera this year. So I don't know
Mhm.
if it really was about the camera
I don't think so.
or just an excuse.
Yep.
Wendy shows up. Beautiful to her horse race, at least, saying this is her event and thank you everybody for coming. Angel comes in a different way, like she's mad. Angel's energy got heated, and Kay asked her if she liked Wendy. And Angel said, no, you're calling me fake because Wendy called her fake. Greg breaks up the fight and throws money at people to go spend at the horse races. They
Mhm.
all get on the bus to the event, and they make a toast, but it's not a toast because Giselle is toasting about the fight that just happened. And so I'm like, "Giselle, why are you starting stuff? We just
Yeah.
ended 5 minutes ago."
I didn't realize she was such a big like, shit stirrer.
That's how she stayed on the show.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. She's doesn't mind being the villain of
Mhm.
the narrative, and she doesn't have a lot of friends because she doesn't get invited to a lot of BET, all these awards where other housewives are
Are
hanging
getting
out and
invited.
going to and stuff like that.
That's
Girl
interesting.
goes to BravoCon. You don't see her at the red carpet. You don't see
Yeah.
her anywhere else. She's a loner, and
You see, that surprised me because I got a different vibe from her on Love Hotel. So it's interesting to, like,
like, she's the
see.
fun girl.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, no. She does her job well. Let's
Mhm.
just say that.
Mhm.
And she likes men.
Yeah,
She
she
likes
does.
men. Um
So that's
Andy, let's see, they're on the bus, and then Stacy and Kay go at it. I just don't Kay's, like, starting a lot of these issues,
mhm.
and I
Mhm.
don't like the show because her face just says it all,
I
and then it
know.
just gets uncomfortable because then she just starts, like, pointing fingers at everybody. "Well, I don't like you, and I don't like you, and I don't like
Mhm.
you, and I don't like you." I was like, "Well, no wonder you got punched."
Yeah.
'Cause remember, she was the one that got attacked by Ashley's friend,
Last year?
2 years ago. She
Okay.
got attacked by one of Ashley's friends that's no longer friends, but
Okay.
she got attacked at the bar for having a
Really?
mouth on her. I can't remember who she was fighting with, though, or what the fight was about, but Bravo ended up keeping her on the show,
Did they air the fight?
and Kay sued that girl because
Oh.
Kay got a concussion or something
Oh,
and a split forehead, and it's crazy
wow.
because, like, I think she was a guest on the show, so she wasn't a full-time
Like a
housewife.
not a friend of?
Yeah, or something like that. I can't even remember. But she stayed on the show after that. She got beat up.
Wow.
So I think they kept her on so she wouldn't sue them
Yeah.
because she's not very nice. I don't like her. Anyways, so that was episode 3. Do you
Mhm.
have me? And then we'll go to Bravo News.
Yeah. So some Bravo news. Evidently, what's her name? Ariana and Katie had a legal battle over their sandwich shop that is set to be dismissed months before the trial. I didn't even hear anything of this.
Well, I
So
know the chef took him to court, but they
is
dropped
that what
that.
it was?
They
Okay.
came to a settlement. 'Cause
I
she came up with the sandwiches, she came up with the
came up with a
names and
yeah,
stuff like that. She came up with the how to put the sandwiches together.
let's gather. So I thought that was interesting. Heather Dubrow and Brittany Cartwright did a Clorox commercial together. I thought that was so funny. I've seen 2 of them now, and I think it's so funny to pair them together, but I feel like they're, like, such a good combo.
Yeah.
Reebok came out with a Real Housewives shoe line. Did you see that?
I did see that Brittany was in that commercial. Or Brittany
Mhm.
got some shoes by them.
Shoes, yeah.
I kinda like them, the shoes are pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
McBee Dynasty is renewed for a 3rd season.
Mhm.
While we're on McBee, Stephen McBee, the dad, was sentenced to 24 months in prison and has to pay $4 million in crop insurance fraud, which I think we talked about before. Julia from Miami is seeking treatment for PTSD after her explosive outburst on the final. She said it was a cry for help. So again, is she going to a spa? We don't know.
He's going
But
to a spa.
but she's going somewhere.
It's not the
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
positive.
Cy and Aaron from New York are supposedly the only returning cast members for Rhodey. Sunset of Shaw's Mercedes and her husband filed for divorce after 7 years. And I can't
We
wait for Shaw's of
um,
Sunset to come back. From Shaw's of Sunset Mercedes. Beverly Hills is premiering on December 4th, and I watched the trailer today. Very excited. It seems like there's 2 new people. What's her face? The icon,
Zoe.
yeah, Rachel Zoe, and then some girl named Amanda. Don't know anything about her. There is going to be a 3-part series called Surviving Mormonism, and it's gonna feature Heather Gay. I don't know what this is about, but she was gonna be featured in it. I think she's gonna be, like, the main person, and she interviews people from it. Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kelly's ex is suing Bravo for defamation over abuse allegations. I wish I could say I saw this coming, or I should say I did see this coming because she did talk a lot about him, and she had bodyguards, so
Oh, yeah. Okay, Kelly
yeah.
from Atlanta, yeah.
And the last
Who did she hire? She hired,
bodyguards, didn't she?
no, she hired what's her name? The attorney.
Oh, I don't know, I didn't see this.
Oh, Phaedra.
Oh, yeah, I did see that actually, you're
Yeah,
right.
she hired Phaedra as her attorney.
And the last thing I have, Erika Jayne is now DJ Pretty Mess.
Dear Jesus.
We are all turning into DJs over here in the Bravo world.
Girl, when in doubt, when in doubt.
I feel like we should be DJs at this point.
I
Change our
know, right?
podcast to DJ Moms Unfiltered, because 'cause we're all turning into DJs over here.
I mean, whatever gets me out of this house, yes, do it.
Uh,
And that's a wrap on the episode of Bravo's Moms Unfiltered. We hope you had as much fun listening as we did spilling the tea. Because let's be real, moms need unfiltered moments too.
Make sure to follow us wherever you get your podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you love today's chat, leave us a review. It will help other Bravo loving moms find us.
Yes, don't forget to follow us on Spotify, Apple, what else?
Amazon Music.
Amazon. And then also Instagram.
Yes.
And yeah, like us,
That is
star
it.
us, give us your opinion, please, please, please.
Yes. Until next time, keep the wine chilled, the drama on TV, and the mom life real.
See you next week, Bravo Moms.
I'm reckless, offensive. I destroy your defenses. My guest list is priceless, and yes, I run a tight ship.